Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of round 4 in Super Rugby Pacific. This one, the Waratahs going head to head with the Hurricanes. Now, the Hurricanes last week not quite getting the result that they would have liked up against the Fijian draw. It was their first loss of the season, whereas the Waratahs at this point in time, they are sitting 2 wins from 2. They have managed to do very nicely throughout their first matches, scoring 36 points exactly in both of their games, but now they are in front of the home crowd, looking to keep that winning streak going a little bit longer as the Brumbies currently sit top of the table. Looking through at the starting lineup, Thomas Lambert alongside Bilal Painga'a and Daniel Bota as the number 3, Philip at number 4 with a Matasero at 5, and then a bit of a change here in the loose forward trio. Halaholo has been playing in that 6 jersey, and instead he will be making his way off the bench. Talataina as the number 6. Charlie Gamble at 7, recently announcing that he is going overseas at the end of the season. And Pete Samu there as the number 8. Jay Gordon alongside Lawson Creighton as that 9 and 10 combination. Max Jorgensen, the absolute superstar he is. He is out there on the left wing, and he is a player that this Hurricane side have to shut down as quickly as possible, because if given any sort of space, he's such a dangerous threat with that ball in hand. Joey Walton and Joseph Akuso Suali'i will make up the midfield. Tristan Riley out on the right wing due to the Harry Potter foot injury. In fact, I believe it's more specifically his toe. And Andrew Callaway there as the number 15. Another big return for this side. It will be his first minutes of Super Rugby Pacific, and they will be more than happy to have him back at another attacking threat. And in this Waratahs backline for the Hurricanes, they have got a change in the propping department for this contest. Xavier Numia comes back in as the number 1. Asafo Moore remains at 2 with Basilio Tosi. Slotting in at 3. Warner Durns moves to 4 with Isaiah Walker-Leawiri partnering with him as the number 5. Devin Flanders, Duplessis Karefi for his first game of 2026's Super Rugby with Peter Larkai as the 8. Cam Roygard and Callum Harkin, that cursed number 10 jersey at the moment for the Canes. You know, you look through at the players that have suffered injuries thus far. You got Brett Cameron out for the season, Harry Godfrey out for the season. There is also the injury of Ruben Love, the ankle injury, 2 to 4 more weeks. But hopefully Callum Harkin, from moving to 15, has a full game in him. Well, this matchup, Fihi Whinianofo as the number 11, Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor in that midfield combination, Balin Sullivan at 14, and Josh Morby, he slots in at number 15. So those are the starting lineups for this game, ladies and gentlemen. We are only around 5 minutes away, I'd say, from the kickoff in this contest. We have got there the Waratahs to win. Says Kyle, and also we have got there, I was going to put Leroy Carter in my fantasy team, and I chose someone else. Oh, well, though. Says Kay Slade. And now I'm home, says Jasmine, and Kane's 13 plus. Now, they've got a pretty decent record up against the Waratahs as of late. I believe they're on a 5-match winning streak, including one game for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman that took place. It was 48-64 in favour of the Hurricanes. So it could be a high-scoring one. Their closest game was 18-22. That was back in about 2022, though. Since then, 3 home games in a row for this Hurricane side. So this is a little bit of uncharted territory. Some of these Canes players. Hi again, Hamish. Says Daniel, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We see the return of Duplessis Karefi being welcomed back out onto the field by his Hurricanes teammates with open arms. See Braden Yossi, he will be making his way off of the bench in this game rather than starting. I got a new name for Proctor. Drop Nuts Proctor. You obviously don't like him then, you'd assume. And too bad JAS is out. Says Dunk in there as well. I predict 50 for the Chiefs, or I predicted 50 on the Chiefs. Yeah, so they did get their 50 in the end, the half century. They brought it up. The average does drop, though, for the Chiefs at FMG Stadium. Sadly, it drops down to about 63 points on average now rather than 66. So they let everyone down. It was a very good win against Moana Pacifica. And then there's that spoiler that we were trying to avoid. But that one's going to be now just about coming to a close, I believe, whereas this game just about to begin. The Waratahs up against the Hurricanes. Canes on a 2-match winning streak. Whereas in the other side of the equation, you've got this Hurricane side sitting 1 from 2. A great win over Moana Pacifica. Tosi Amoa and Numia, says Tanner there. Showing defensive ruck entries for Charlie Gamble. Loves getting into the work early. And also hasn't been too bad when it comes to scoring tries throughout the season as well. I go the first Chiefs try scored in a spin to win the Chiefs have. Says Jasmine, James Dolman, the referee in charge of this one. James Leckie will be the TMO. Having to Brett Cameron sadly suffered that knee injury in I think it was the last contest, wasn't it, for the Hurricanes, or it may have even been the game prior, but his knee got mutilated. So he is out for the season. He goes alongside Harry Godfrey, who's also out for the season with a knee injury. And Ruben Love's still about 4 weeks away from making his way back for this side. Ben Misson says the AI underdog pick, and how many games did the Chiefs win? They have won 2 out of 3, or no, sorry, they will be now 3 out of 4 for the start of their season. So it's kicked off now, nicely taken by Jake Gordon, who gets around Geordie Barrett as his first touch of the day, but the early penalty goes the way of the Canes. No clear release. I believe it was Xavier Numia locked himself over the ball there to win the penalty. Informed team Waratahs should sneak through home advantage, says David. Yeah, I like the fact that this game is expected to be close because, last year, I think it was about 57-12 in favour of the Hurricanes, which was unfortunate, but the Waratahs were a very different side just last year than they are right now. Although this is going to be a little bit ugly because it's a 5-metre line out now for the Hurricanes. So straight away on the attack. Chiefs have the bye next week, says Jasmine. They certainly do. And we have good there. I wouldn't mind having a Moore back in black. He was really good and played almost the whole 80 minutes against England and Ireland in 2024. Nicely claimed by the Hurricanes. Loose ball picked up, though, by Callum Harkin. When did Harry Godfrey get injured? I think it was pre-season, wasn't it, Harry Godfrey? I don't believe he's played any minutes throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season as of yet. Ball's available. Roy Guard goes back across to the right-hand side. Kevin Flanders wearing that number 6 jersey. A tough challenge there from the Tars. They wrestle him to the turf. Safwa Moore, tackled by his opposite number, Fainya'a. Roy Guard goes to Barrett, inside pass to Callum Harkin. Anytime he hits the ground or has a little twist, everyone's going to be watching those knees very closely. And then they fly over to play the Brumbies, and then they play the Western Force the week after, don't they? Peter Larkai, 12 metres out the line, tackled by the number 12, Joey Walton. Roy Guard still moves it away to the left. It was almost a tackle off the ball on a Safwa Moore. To be fair, he wanted to get rid of Gordon early. Big tackle here on Billy Proctor, who's lost possession. Great work from the Waratahs, putting him under pressure, threatening to put him into touch, so he had to get rid of the ball. Has gone now to the home team. I went to Fabian Holland get injured. He got injured in that preseason up against Moana Pacifica. So he's out for the season too. What games tomorrow, Sunday and Monday? So tomorrow we've got the game between Wales and Ireland as that first opening contest, then doing Crusaders versus Blues, then the 2 games of the Six Nations, then a lot of matches of the Sevens, and then also thrown in there as the T20 World Cup final. Fabian out for the season last I heard. Yep. Sadly out for the season. What's your prediction for this game? I went a close one. I think I predicted 30-27 or something along those lines in favour of the Canes. I think that was my score. I can't quite remember, but I know I did it by less than 5 in favour of the Hurricanes. Allow Fainya'a ready to throw this one. And already the Hurricanes line out getting a bit of a warning from James Dolman. Okay, looks like it's all been sorted. Please don't cry because you didn't get the job. Which job are we talking, Mohadin? I didn't realise I had applied for one. What is a fibula injury? So your fibula is one of the bones in your leg. So it's more specifically like the basic way of saying it's broken leg. But nice take from a Safwa Moore, the halfway line at the moment. Rugby coach. I definitely wouldn't want to apply for that one. I wouldn't be able to tell New Zealand Rugby what they wanted to hear. They'd be like, so what are you going to do to make the All Blacks great again? I'd say sack some of the older players and learn how to catch a high ball. And they would have gone, sorry, that doesn't meet our values. Big hit on Whitty Norfolk, driven into touch by Tristan Riley. What game will Ruben Love be back for? He's 4 to 6 weeks out with his ankle injury. So, it might even be 2 to 4 weeks now, in fact. So, yeah, it will depend. It depends on when he's feeling fit and ready. But $2 on Geordie getting a try. Would you hypothetically match that? So wait, so you put $2 on Geordie getting a try. Would I, as in like, would I, if I was to back someone to score a try, would I pick Geordie Barrett? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I feel like he's more likely to get like 3 assists in this game than score himself, which is not what you want to hear at all. But he'd scored a few for Leinster. If they play a similar style, I'll be sneezing a lot tonight. All still there for the Canes. Cam Roygard away to the right-hand side of Safwai. Moore misses the pass to Harkin. Has to clean it up as Proctor around the halfway line. Cooper Robert got a fibula injured, says Baden. And damn Dave, the new coach. And also, you know how Dave Rennie is the new All Blacks coach? Yes. I feel like there's a follow-up line to that, isn't there? I reckon Fabian Holland would have been top 5 ABs players this year if he wasn't injured. Yeah, and sadly, it is just the way that it can work out. It sucks when it's preseason too. I still remember a couple of years ago, not really relevant to the All Blacks, but Fatuli Paya signing from the Crusaders to the Highlanders and then was injured the whole first season due to getting injured in preseason up against the Crusaders. I get the impression that the public have more confidence in Rennie. To a certain extent, I'd say yes. There are still the ones who are going, they shouldn't have got rid of Scott Robinson. There's still the ones who are saying it should have been Jamie Joseph. There are still the ones who are saying that none of those 3 should have been the guy that they went with. But, like, yeah, I've seen quite a few Kiwis defending Rennie, which is quite nice. Because the current one that a lot of people are saying is, you know, his Wallabies winning record's not great. But hopefully, you know, something higher than 38% would be ideal for the All Blacks. Charlie Gamble, good carry from him. Do you think the Crusaders are winning tomorrow? It's going to be close. 7 within either side, I think. I believe in Geordie, says Pro Pleb. So he just has to score. He doesn't have to score like the first try, Pro Pleb, in this matchup. I think it's looking like it could be a low scoring one, unless, of course, it all of a sudden opens up. Now ball on the outside. Max Jorgensen going down the wing. Puts the chip in behind. Geordie Barrett changes his line and falls over into touch. But Callum Harkin at the back, covering nicely. Spins out of the challenge from Max Jorgensen, getting himself in a little bit of trouble now. Joey Walton wrestling him to the ground. Hooters Crusaders playing the Super Round. They are playing the Waratahs. This side playing at the moment. Rennie will be good for the job. Says man on the moon. Crusaders are losing by 14 at least. Oh, okay. So you're going back for a throwback game, 26-6, similar to that one that we saw a few years ago. Every other game in the last 10 has been won by the Crusaders up against the Blues. Is there a game tonight? Tonight, your time would be Ireland versus Wales. Anytime try scorer for Geordie. Okay. Was it paying all right? I know that because the Hurricanes were slight favourites, probably less than if someone like a Joey Walton was to score, but it should have still been like a couple dollars, surely. Waratahs have won the penalty. It looks like for Laufaianga'a, they are just going to go for the tap. In fact, Pete Samu decides to leave it for Gordon. Way to Lambert. Got down by Isaiah Walker, Leo Wiri. Good ball from Gordon. Speaking of Walton, he gets within 3 metres. Now advantage. Peter Larkai in the wrong place at the wrong time. Couple metres out for the Tars. They get over the line. The first time in this contest. Charlie Gamble. He's right on the goalpost. Who was that searching for the ball? I think it's Talatena who gets very close to putting the ball on the line, but has to recycle it. Falaufainga'a across to Gordon. Now Callaway, tackled by Proctor in a great spot tackle by the Hurricanes 13. Fainga'a thought about going to the left. Oh, I don't know what he's done there. He's dropped the ball backwards, but it is going to be play on. It's only $6 return, but that's a pie and a drink. That is true. What type of pie are you going to get? Or is that cursing it that it won't happen if we decide on the pie flavour now? It's going to be another penalty, though, to the Waratahs. A quick blow of the whistle here from James Dolman. Now, the Chiefs had 15 penalties where they didn't have a yellow card. It seems like 9 minutes into this game, Hurricanes already might be getting a warning. It was Peter Larkai who just didn't get back round the breakdown. I think he kind of got a bit confused with Gordon in terms of what side of the breakdown he was going to be going back round. Straight out in front of the post, the Tars call for the scrum. It is the Canes got next week, says Baden. So next weekend for the Hurricanes, what we will do is we'll go like that. There we go. They are playing up against the Western Force. They are the lone Friday night game. Then there are 3 taking place on Saturday, including Fijian Draw Brumbies, as well as that Crusaders Highlanders South Island derby, which we have already seen earlier on in the season. Same can be said about that Reds Waratahs game. That is a repeat match taking place as well. And then on Sunday, there is the afternoon game between the Blues and also Moana Pacifica. Now, scrum for Gordon. And Warriors are winning. Says Jasmine, and did the Chiefs lose? They won. They were able to bring up the 50 points, but Moana actually did quite nicely in that game, scoring a decent amount of points themselves. Okay, they're saying that there's no clear gap there. A bit of frustration early on in this Hurricanes performance. They haven't exactly come out firing from their loss last week. They've got a 40 kg pack advantage. See if they can use it. It is against the feed, though. What game is the Blues versus Moana? They are playing on Sunday. Chiefs only team to lose 1 game, says Mohadeen. That is going to be now a scrum penalty. Waratahs going away to the right-hand side. Big skip pass out wide. The Hurricanes have also only lost 1 game. Tristan Riley tries to grab her in mind. It's taken by Proctor, and it is taken back by the Canes. Nowhere to go. And another scrum feed here for the Tars. A hat-trick for the Chiefs game tonight, says Baden. Leroy Carter managed to get himself the hat-trick in the game. So there's actually been quite a few throughout the recent rounds. And we have got there, no, they lost 1 game. I think that's what he said. He said that the Chiefs had lost the 1. And up the Wars, says Johnny. I've been to 2 Wars games. They lost the first game to the Sharks and won the second against the Tigers. Is Kay Slade. Do you actually see here, George Pullman? That must be a late change. I didn't realize that Joseph Akusa Suali'i was not playing out there on the field, but no Suali'i in the midfield of the Tars today. He was one of the players out in the the preview, I did say, could be quite the key. Going to the Wales versus Cowboys game in Christchurch, now moving away to the left-hand side, popped up for Tristan Riley. We have good there. I'm thinking if Geordie does get a try, I'll put the $6 on Will Jordan getting a try tomorrow. You won't be able to, as Will Jordan is on mandatory rest period, so isn't allowed to play up against the Blues. Lafai Nga'ā around the side, waiting for the opportunity. No, he leaves it alone. Once again, right on the goal line, Tristan Riley gets it over. And first try of the contest goes the way of the Waratahs. Chiefs, Hurricanes, and Reds have all lost 1 game. There's Jasmine. A nice bit of work. Riley, a long way off his wing to be able to play at that one. Of course, coming into the starting lineup due to the injury of Harry Potter's toe. And yeah, just an outstretched dive from Tristan Riley, putting the ball out in front of him and getting that ball down on the line. The Tars to strike first. And I'll say it again, this is not the same Waratahs side that we are used to seeing from past years. They look a lot more determined. They look a lot more well-rounded. One last year, Brumbies or the Reds. Says Baden is in their head-to-head. They actually played twice due to the fact that they're both Australian sides. So normally they do the double header. In that case, I'm back to the Tars in this game. Says Jasmine. Oh, try is good. They have said that there was a drop ball, but it went backwards. So it's all good to go. So last year, the Reds versus Brumbies. Brumbies won at home 24-14, and the Brumbies won away from home 39-26 as the 2 games. Hi there, Mr. Kiwi. How are you doing? What's your score prediction? I went relatively close between these 2 sides. Late 20s for both of them, maybe even 30 points for the winner. Our ref was terrible for the Chiefs game. Didn't want us to put 100 on Moana, says the Sporting Kiwi. It did seem like it took a little while to get things going in that game. In terms of some of the decisions made, all that one slipped through the hands of Pete Samu. It's still going to be available for the Waratahs. How many times? Blues beat Crusaders at home. Quite a few of the last 4 meetings at home for the Blues. I think they've won 1 time against the Crusaders. It's Hamish's fault the Proti has lost. Probably. Yep. Kick downfield from Jake Gordon. Does that mean it's also my fault that the Black Cats won? Because I'm sure there'd be a lot of Kiwis who would be happy with me if that is the case. Who scored the Waratahs try? It was Tristan Riley. managed to score it just a little bit in favour of the Waratahs when it comes to possession at the moment, 51% for that side. Saying about the dangerous backline of both of these sides, in fact. No prediction, says JD. Well done, Dave Rennie. Huge respect for a man as a Wallaby supporter. Says Dirk, now running up the middle. Fihi Whinia Northo. Would he have been a name on Rennie's team sheet? He not had an overseas contract lined up. Harkin feeds it on to Morby. One more wide pass. Asafua Moore runs it in for the try. And that is now the Hurricanes on the board for the first time. Crusaders don't have a game in round 7, and Amor, says Cobber. And yeah, it's not very often you see a hooker out on the wing untouched, but no one even got near him in that case. I think they'll be pretty happy with that one overall for the Hurricane side, and the Waratahs defense just didn't really exist in that case. Hey, Samoa, come on, let's go. Why did you let Proteas lose? Hamish says, Mohadine, I just wanted to let them lose just so that you would be angry about it. And then you would be able to ask again this week whether or not I like you. Played Billy, says Dunk. As Mohadine, add your name on it, said you lost. Says JD. Yes, Samoa, come on, let's go, says BTW. Geordie Barrett striking the ball, has hooked it slightly to the left. And that's going to make the score now 7 points to 5 after 16 minutes. A nice looking front row and only 3 games week 8, says Jasmine. That's the Easter weekend, right? There's going to be quite a few All Blacks picked from overseas this year. I'm calling it now. It's long overdue, says the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, although did you see David Kirk kind of squirm when Rennie was mentioning about how he'd like to have a couple overseas guys? He also said he's not really allowed to talk about it. So I don't know if it's going to be the case, even though he wants it. We have got there, won't speak to you, says Mahadine. We have got there, where will the Crusaders be placed if they win tomorrow? If they're 7 at the moment, there's still a lot of games taking place before that, so a lot can change, but they would theoretically be top 6. They were able to get the victory roughly. Now, Jake Gordon pulling for Falau Fainga to get into position around the halfway line. It seems like Gordon's setting up for a box kick here. Too bad Tonga couldn't host Moana Pacifica versus the Chiefs. They couldn't afford to host a game, says Johnny Blaze, which is a shame. I saw you ripping into them in the comments, which wasn't really needed. But yeah, it is a shame what has happened with the Moana Pacifica side in terms of not getting games in Samoa and Tonga. A bit similar to what we're seeing actually with Fiji coming up soon as well. But yeah, it is a shame. Geordie Barrett going cross kick here. Nicely taken by Max Jorgensen. Now booting it towards the sideline. That might be out on the full. Yes, it is. How many points does a win, Hamish? You get 4 points for a win, 5 points if you win by 3 or more tries. Is Riley Higgins injured? I don't know if he is actually. I think it's just because Geordie Barrett's back at 12. It means that Higgins doesn't get a lot of game time. From his need to lose a game, says JD. And go the Waz, says BTW. Safar Moore ready to throw this one in. Please don't support the Springboks, Hamish. I think you probably have shown this year that you're not really supporting them as much, because remember what you did to Andre Pollard? You went from he's the best thing since sliced bread to I hate Andre and take him out of the lineup. It seemed a bit rough. And Roygard off to the left-hand side. Trying to step through was Isaiah Walker-Leaweri. It's about the 5th sneeze of the stream so far, or at least on the 2 streams, I should say. For today, nice offload from Devon Flanders. Passes on the outside to Asafua Moore. Must be allergic to tries because we've seen a lot of them throughout the matches for the Friday night games. Devon Flanders. Again, going off to the left. Cam Roygard finds Barrett. It's a flat pass to Walker-Leaweri. It's weird seeing DCE not in the Manly top. There's Kiwi Rob. Nice break of the line by Whinia Northo. Ball back on the inside. Peter Luckeye scores. And the Hurricanes, well, they get their second. They take the lead now in this contest. Well, I'm about to sneeze again. Ladies and gents, one moment. I'll quickly mute. We are good. But it's a very nice pass on the outside to Fihi Finianofo and another missed tackle out wide. That time it was Andrew Callaway who wasn't able to make it. And my favourite Pollard, favourite player in the, well, not in the All Blacks, is Andre Pollard. And this game is from Andy Scott in York, England. And I'm having a good old night in the fantasy, says BTW Padson. Alakai try, says Cobber. And there as well. That is now his his second try in his third match. 20 minutes through this contest already. Geordie Barrett now a chance to add the additional 2. Let's make no mistake with that one, making the score now 10 points to the 7. Turning to 12, in fact. Cheslin will be the best number 10, says Mohadeen, and goes Sport Billy. We see it there, Andrew Callaway. Just that little half shuffle from Fihi Finianofo. Then Gordon had no chance being able to stop that inside pass. Kunawave, hamstring, 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, there is quite a long injury list at the moment, not just for the Canes, but across all of Super Rugby. There are sides that are really struggling. I think the Tars have only got 4 injuries, though. They're probably doing better out of most of it. Is a charge down kick from Tristan Riley. Goes into touch to the Hurricanes. We have the line out from inside of their own 22. Raul Valentini won't play tomorrow against the Reds, says Baden. Now let's go the Canes, says K Slade. The line out for Asafwa Moa, who has started this game with a hiss and a roar. The rest are making the ref angry. Crusaders got 11 players out. Yeah, I think there's a couple teams with the 11, isn't there? At the stage, all Joey Walton trying to sneak his way through the Hurricanes defence. There was almost a knock-on from the number 6, Talatena, but it's gone backwards. Now, Pullman. The late inclusion in the side for Joseph Suali'i. Matasero can go again. Allow Whainga'a. No penalty advantage just at this stage. Passing it across. That is a knock on, though. Ball is popped onto the side of the Hurricanes. Billy Proctor sends it downfield. And it's not going to go into touch. So advantage now over Lawson Creighton. Through one tackle. Passes it forward. Will be now the scrum feed for the Hurricanes. Well, they have got the line out option as well. I want Johnny McNichol back for the Crusaders. He went well in the for the Crusaders last year. The Bunnings NPC, yeah, he's currently on that injury list too, isn't he? Let's go Lakai for fantasy rugby. And up the Wars, not the Tars, says Kiwi Rob. This is what we need. Good start for the Warriors is a must. Crusaders going to put 50 on the Blues. That would be quite the eventful match. And have a look in the Discord channel when you can. Says Jasmine and Cullen Grace. Says Baden there too. Currently 25 degrees in Sydney for this contest. Relatively warm. Just a little bit of breeze. Seems like the huddle is now over for the Canes. And we haven't seen a huge amount of that Warner Dearns carrying that we are used to seeing. That does not mean that we won't see it in the near future. It did look like a little knock-on the ground from Talatena. They did roll it as backwards. It was certainly the 4-pass. Canes have got themselves the scrum. Cam Roygard, who's a popular choice in fantasy this week as well. And 42-18 with a minute left. There's Badson. Also, we have their Satyrs are going to lose. There's K Slade. The ball is fed in. That scrum took a little while for these two sides. Now looking to get this one moving forward. They've got the penalty advantage, so the extra 40 kgs working wonders for the Canes in that scrum. Now we'll loop it around. Callum Harkin looks for the offload. Taken by Riley. They'll go back for another penalty. Now we have got their spot. Have you forgotten No Will Jordan? Says Kiwi Rob. And also, if Crusaders have 11 injuries, might join your bet on the Blues. Says Shane, although if it makes you feel better, Blues have 10 injuries. So they aren't really that much better off. And they're missing quite a few of their locks at the moment. Missing McWannell, missing Patrick Tuipulotu. They have got Berry and Derry as the starting duo, though. Now line out. Yeah, for the Canes. And Kia ora, Hamish Bro says, Matthew, welcome in. Crusaders by 40 instead of 50. And great scrum for the Canes. Now overthrown from Samoa Gordon going for the grubber, trying to win the foot race, but Barrett is back and ready to take it. That was almost a tackle on the ground from Gordon. Barrett showing off that long boot of his, getting it back into the Waratahs half. Now Crichton, bounce pass there. Callaway picks it up cleanly. And now looking for the kick and behind himself. It rolls out inside of the Canes 22. I know Jordan, no result in my opinion. And we have got there 32 points to 28 in there. And also, I've got there, sorry to Kiwi Rob, but I've just lost my dad, says Matthew. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Is that for the rugby league one there, maybe? Yeah, sorry to hear about your father. Do you know if any games in history have ended with both teams getting no points? Way back in the day, I think they have, but no recent games have. Had a couple low scoring ones. I think the lowest I've seen in most recent times was about 7-9 or something like that, or it might have been 7-8 actually, and that was quite recently. That was Leinster versus Cardiff in the URC last round. Now Waratahs on attack again. Joey Walton. 15 metres from the try line. They have to be the next team to strike here, the Tars. They can't allow the Hurricanes get half a sniff in this one. Now told to use it again. Trailing by the 5 points. 7 phases in. Matasero pick and go. Now Philip, the captain. What can he get going? Trying to get the steal and the breakdown from Karifi, but he gives it away. Okay, it was the second go at it. He apologises to the referee there, Karifi. And happy birthday. Not my birthday, Mohadin. And also there was 142 points to 18 and a more in his head. Our line out time now, says Freshman. Yeah, I don't even know if it's so much the pressure that the Tars are creating or whether it's just the Safwa more now hesitating to just get those lineouts in. But we see it there, Karifi. Didn't quite win that one cleanly. Hurricanes by 14 plus. I've been drinking all day long. But life still goes on, says Matthew. Yeah, hopefully the rugby will help distract you a little bit over the weekend. There's a lot of it on, but be sure to spend time with your friends and family. Okay, James Dolman's just described that one to Duplessis Karifi. He's pretty much said that it was his second attempt because he's already been cleaned out in that ruck initially. So that is why he got penalised. It's one of those ones that he also possibly could have won the penalty, depending on who the referee was. Have you forgotten that the Blues have Bowden Barrett back? You know, on the Rugby Sevens of the Blitzbox? We are indeed. We have got the first match, South Africa versus Great Britain, in there as well. And Waz just smashed the Roosters in the NRL, 40 points to 18. You can't wait for the rugby this weekend, bro. Says Matthew, nice backline movement, Andrew Callaway. Trying to get over the line again. Yeah, there's so much on. The Super Rugby, Six Nations. Another penalty against Duplessis Karifi. Hands were past the ball, says Dolman. There's a bit of frustration here for Karifi. That is now 2 in a row that Dolman has pinged him for. We might need those 2 points, says BTW Padser. So many disallowed tries for the Roosters. And got to lead the haka when the tangi happens. Or get to lead the haka when the tangi happens. Says Matthew. And this ref down on Karifi. He doesn't like him too much. He did have his hands down, though, to be fair. He collapsed first. Can the Sevens, what with you? We are doing the Vancouver Sevens. Now, 12 minutes remaining of the half. Another chance on attack. Allow Whainga'a. Send this ball in for the Hurricane. Oh, sorry, for the Waratahs. Matt Phillip taken well. 5 meters out. Seems like Tristan Riley also wants to get involved in this rolling maul. He's got quite the ability of finding ways of scoring, unlike normal wingers. You know, if he scores off this rolling maul, it would not be surprising. Now moving this one forward. Chance, yeah, and very close to over the line there. About half a metre short for Gordon. Hurricanes trying to tie it up. 2 offside, that is against a Safwa more. Canes looking to get in and defend hard on their goal line. Oh, that ball's gone through Lambert. He's up behind him. Gamble pops the ball up. Nice support there from the Tars. Lambert isolated. Passes across to Phillip. Now thought about going on the outside for Talatena, but he'll hang on to it. Gordon now starting to shift to Hudson Creighton. Going one more. Sorry, it's Lawson this time. Tristan Riley offload on the inside. Looked risky, but it found the hands of Creighton again. Now Gordon skip past out wide. It's a great finish from Jorgensen, and the Tars are in again. According to my fantasy score, he isn't. You're 27 this year. I certainly am. As Rongatai old boy, let's go, boys. I forgot Sevens was still going. So much rugby going on, says Cats. Now, the good news about the Sevens, though, is it actually starts after the Six Nations and Super Rugby games are all over. So it's actually Sunday morning for us here in New Zealand when they fire up the Sevens, which means all throughout Monday as well. We're going to be covering them on the channel. Alongside that T20 World Cup final between the Black Caps and India. A great finish from Jorgensen in the corner. I mentioned about it in the preview, how he can finish from everywhere out there on the park. He does it again, and it makes the score 12-all between these two teams. And that's one great thing about a back-and-forth type of game. The clock just absolutely flies by. Always give the pull to the boy. He's good for any player to stop. Or he's too good for any player to stop. Yeah, he's just got that step on him. Seems to get him around 90% of the players in front, but that kick has missed for Crichton, so 12-all. The way that it sits, it's late by me. Yeah, the Sevens isn't actually the best time zone for some of you guys in South Africa this comp. Same with New York Sevens the next day. And we have got there, I'm here too. Watch the man, Hamish, he is the nest. Oh, sorry, he's the best, I assume that is, from Matthew. One's going to be kicked into touch. Yeah, true. A great start. And also has the best followers, says Matthew. Yeah, I think we're very lucky in terms of the people who tune in for these streams and the videos. So one more. Ready for a line out. He's already been psyched out a couple times, and that one's well taken by Isaiah Wakaleawiri. Not a lot of intent there from the Hurricanes to jump onto that ball, but luckily for them, still sits up. Fehi Whiniarnofo has the man with him. That's when he should have passed, but he's got to break through a tackle first. He had Flanders with him, who didn't quite have that same pace of Whiniarnofo. Wide cutout pass. Barrett goes to Proctor now. Another skip pass to Balin Sullivan. Bumps off Jorgensen. Strength to cut back inwards. Now good hands from Basilio Tossi as well. Lakai with the directional change into the skipper of the Waratahs. A pick and go from Xavier Numia. Jorgo stood up Roy Guard superbly there. Says Dunk. I imagine having Brad Shields on the bench. Yeah, Brad Shields. Braden Yossi also going to make his way off the bench in this contest too. Off to the left. Little shuffle a couple times from Numia. Trying to get that 1 or 2 extra meters and get it well set for his side to get going again. Lambert caught offside. So advantage in play for the Hurricanes. Roygard looking off right, goes to Flanders. Pops it in behind Harkin. Thinks about the cross kick. He uses it. Going to Sullivan on the bounce. He controls it and scores the try out wide. The Hurricanes now have their third. And we have got there also Hurricanes win tonight. But my precious Brumbies in the clear. At the top of the ladder. And here, Whiniarnofo is a bit of an animal. Here's man on the moon. He is a phenomenal finisher. I thought maybe he hung on to that ball for too long, but then you saw the pace of Flanders wasn't quite up to par next to him. So it kind of makes sense as to why he didn't really fully want to pass early. Up the cane, says BTW Padza. And there were nervous times there. But Balin Sullivan does well to be able to regather after fumbling it initially. Don't buy reduced sugar Waddy spaghetti. Very bland and unappealing, just like the Blues Kiwi roll, says Jason. Come on, boys. Let's own Sydney twice in one night. And also, Hurricanes win tonight. Put my precious Brumbies in the clear. That one's missed away to the side for Geordie Barrett. Score now sitting 17 points to 12. And good hand, says JD. I love being able to watch Hamish when I have the time. Says Matthew. And my family says thanks to everyone who sends their roha. Says Matthew as well. Yeah, I think that's one of the slightly cool things about doing multiple different time zones of rugby as well. And so many live streams across the weekend is even if you only have, let's say, like a Sunday morning or a Saturday afternoon free for your whole weekend, normally we're still live on the channel, like no matter the weird hour that it is. Tomorrow morning here for the Six Nations, the 7:05 game between the Blues and the Crusaders covering on that, or that on the channel. Then the Six Nations games throughout the night. Now big run forward from Callaway. Gordon. Way to the left. Walton going for the kick in behind. The mark is called by Josh Morby. I'm lucky being a Kiwi. Says BTW Padson. Love my Canes. Let's go the Canes. There's Matthew in there. Yeah, currently leading 17 points to the 12. Just seems like it's going to be a good back and forth between these teams. I like to think it wasn't going to be one-sided. And that's a huge hit there from Basilio Tossi lining up Talataina. Now Walton, short ball to Callaway. Couldn't quite feed him through the gap. Tar centres are weak. And the late change as well, with no Suaalii in this case, brings Pullman into 13. And we have there because my time is the same, so I can make it here more. There's BTW Pads. Although I think the perfect time zone is actually that European or South African one. There's not too many games of Super Rugby that aren't on at a good time up north. Trying to get that steal in the breakdown for Flanders. Just missed the initial attempt at it. Roygard now looking to do the same. Referee says no. Botha goes across there. Joey Walton. Short ball to Lambert. Offloads again. It's a part of this Waratahs game this season. It seems to have come a long way since last. Callaway, though, that grubber in behind was a bit of a nothing kick, and it's put his team under pressure as they now have to retreat and go and get the ball. Lawson Crichton taking his time, trying to step around Morby, who has him lined up and takes him down, calling for the penalty. Referee says no. A forward pass by the fraudulent Tars, says JD, and whacked him. And damn you, Tars. Come on and have smash the Canes. And Callaway useless. Says Morgrill. Rolling it back again. Jake Gordon goes to Daniel Botha. Settling nicely, getting ready for the box kick. I don't think it's worth doing the Ireland versus Wales game. We're still going to do it anyway. I am only doing half of that match, though. The rest of it will still be covered on the channel. It's just I have to go away to the junior game. Nice take. Balin Sullivan goes to Roygard now inside of their own half. Moving away. Devon Flanders manages to leap around. Two defenders. Still running forward. Flanders has the pass on the outside to Fihi Norfo. Dragged down by Riley's defense. Gets back up. Has another go. Fihi Norfo. Oh, Geordie Barrett, flat ball to Lakai. It's been knocked on. He didn't really give him a lot of time to gather that one. Warner Dern tries to line up Callaway, misses the tackle. Phillip from inside of his 22 runs it forward. I reckon they should try add one more team to Super Rugby next season. There are no buys. I reckon it's the most annoying thing in sports. I do understand buys, though. Yeah, see, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because it's a good thing in a way because like you're in that scenario of sometimes with the amount of injuries, you do need a week where you just get to rest and recover a little bit. If you could have one superpower, what would it be, Mr. Kiwi Sir? What would it be? I would like to teleport because I feel like it would be quite cool that at the end of the game to just, or like halfway through a game, just show up at the game. Or like go to the match and do that kind of thing. Teleport back, do a review. That would be pretty cool. But that's also not possible. What game are you doing? Half Ireland versus Wales. But we have got someone filling in for the second half on that stream. Throwing that one in. Nicely taken by Devon Flanders. The shaky line out of the Hurricanes will be a bit of a concern for the second half of play. Oh, free kick. Oh, no, they've gone right back, but not straight in the line out. That will be 6 years junior. 90 seconds now remaining in the half. Waratahs, I don't think they'll opt for 3 here. Definitely with the fact that they have missed 1 out of their 2 attempted kicks. Teleport into the bank. And my room, hell yeah. Says the AI underdog pick. Is Artie playing in Japan? Yep, he is. A good close match so far, says Colin. Going for the aerial ball. Nicely taken by Harkin, who does call the mark. Your sleep schedule during weekends must be crazy. Yeah, it's quite non-existent at times. Although I'm trying to get a little bit better, which is ironic. Oh, that's a great kick from Callum Harkin, I should say, just outside of the Waratahs 22. But yeah, like, see, this weekend, I've sacrificed about probably 4 hours or so of streams for the sake of being able to get a little bit of sleep in between another all-nighter, if that makes sense. So, like the Reds versus Brumbies game, for instance, I'll probably end up watching a replay of that one, but that's the time that I'm going to sleep before the Six Nations 2 games, seeing as after those 2 matches, I will be up till 6 p.m. New Zealand time with the sevens going on all throughout the day. And then after the sevens ends, it's a quick sleep before the T20 World Cup final, and then another all-nighter of the sevens the day after. So, yeah, Brumbies versus Reds, even though I am going to watch it, it's just not going to happen live on the channel. Or like, I'll watch the replay, I should say. I have the Canes win by 19, says BTW Padza, and that one has gone into touch. Just on the halftime siren, the Waratahs do still have the line-out throw. Was that not a 50-22 from Harkin? No, because it was a mark that was taken. And I think there's some sort of technicality that says you can't get a 50-22 off the mark. Could be wrong. But that seems to be the reasoning behind it. Joey Walton going across to the right-hand side. Skip pass out wide. That is going to be for Tristan Riley. That's come off the side of his boot. And he puts it straight into touch. So it's going to be now halftime 12 points to 7. What team does Ardie Savia play for now? Is it the Kobe Steelers or something? I believe it is, yeah. I think it's the same team as Retallick, isn't it? And Broncos losing World Club Challenge to Hull, says JD. And getting mauled by the Rhinos in Las Vegas, says JD there too. What game are you not doing? The Reds versus Brumbies or the Highlanders versus Western Force game earlier on tomorrow. 12 points to 7. There's BTW Padza. Clip that somewhat. Wait, so you're saying 12 points to 7 for which game? For this game, they're already 12-17. It might be you're about 20 minutes too late from that scoreline. Larkai and Gamble and Barrett, all the fantasy for today, says Colin. Peter Larkai already crossing the try line. Same with Asafwa Moore and also Balin Sullivan, the other man who was able to score. When looking through at the Waratahs, they have also had the 2 tries in this first half. Tristan Riley able to score the first, and then the second scored by, was it Falau Fainga'a in the end who scored the second one? Can't even remember who got over the line. Oh, no, sorry, Jorgensen in the corner. Rennie is the coach there, Samuel. Do you watch the Hunters game? The Hunters game. Who's the Hunter? Which team's the Hunters, Caitlin? Is that like a nickname for them? Oh, no, sorry, that's the B team of one of the Super Rugby guys, isn't it? And Ardie is running New Zealand Rugby. Says Sam Ewan, 36-34 for the Canes for the birthday wish, says Shane. Yeah, I think it is going to be close. My original prediction, I want to say, was about 30-27 in favour of the Hurricanes. I've never seen the scorecard on screen so active. It's updating before you even call the try. Yeah, it's actually thoroughly impressive, isn't it? Like, normally it's about a minute and a half behind. And it gets just delayed enough that people say, update the score. And then I have to explain it's an online scoreboard. It does it itself. But today it's been on point. $1.2 million US per year per year for Savia, says Samuel, and Barrett is my captain. I will earn double points for him. Hope he has a better second half. He hasn't been heavily involved so far, Geordie Barrett. Viewers need to donate to your channel regularly, Hamish, to cover your prescription of no-dose medication, I feel, says Jason. Normally, like the most active one that we've had was like the breakfast fund or the KFC one back in the day, but we haven't really asked for donations. I want to say in probably like a year and a half on the channel, maybe. Like, and even when we say about them, we say go straight back into the channel anyway. But like you can set goals on YouTube, which I've never done. It's got like, yeah, you set like timed goals. 15, tell you what, we'll test it. I don't think it will happen. But we'll go like that. It says share how you'll celebrate. That's a hard question. I don't know how to celebrate. I'll be happy. I don't know. It's a hard question. It's like doing like a CV, isn't it? Start goal. There we go. I press the button. There we go. I don't know what happens. You need money. And how's Cam Roy doing? He's been quite quiet, actually. He's done some decent passes along the way, but hasn't really had a lot of running game so far because he's the best super player. As for chicken tender money, that's much better than just I'll be happy. I should update that and say I'll buy chicken tenders. How do I change it? I'll remove that goal. I'm going to turn it into chicken tenders. How do I do that? Where's the button? Chicken tenders are very good. Right, there we go. I'll buy chicken tenders. There we go. Start goal. That way I don't have to cook them in the air fryer because that absolutely scared the daylights out of most of you. Oh, yeah, good evening, Hamish and everyone. Missed the first half. Good game so far. It's been fast-paced. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. You going to Australia for the Rugby World Cup? I am not, but we will be covering every single game on the channel for that World Cup competition. Thanks for the great commentary, Hamish. You are a great, mate. Says Colin, thank you very much. Did you look at the Discord yet? I did not. I didn't get a chance to. I will go on there now. This better be good. It is a Moana Pacifica supporter by the looks of it. It's a random Moana Pacifica supporter celebrating a try, I assume is the clip I was looking at. And tickets for the Rugby World Cup. Tell you what, that would be much more than chicken tender money. I can tell you that right now. For the final, it's like I think it was $1,000 a ticket, and they're now sold out, I believe, for said final. Oh, everyone, did the Chiefs win? And yes, he did that every time they scored. Well, he got to do it a few times then, much more than they normally get to at FMG. And we have good there. Watch your Discord, says K Slade. 1 second. We don't really I put through the links of the live streams, but that's about as far as my extent on Discord goes. I don't really know too much about Discord in general. They're just showing there. So Ali ruled out pre-match with a hamstring injury. You are skinny. Buy a deep fry and enjoy life, says Samuel. To be fair, I've been getting really into me chocolate eclairs lately. I'm not the only one to donate, says Jason. Thank you very much for your generosity, Jason. Does that count as multiple of the goal? Because of the fact that the goal was like the blue? Yeah. Wait. Does that not count as part of the goal because it wasn't a light blue one? That seems like a silly, flawed system, doesn't it? In that case. Wellington Phoenix are leading at halftime. And I said, oh, Jason. Says Shane there. Rugby Australia can buy chicken tenders now. Says Samuel. Yeah, I do like a good chicken tender. And now I probably will end up having chicken tenders tomorrow. Just as a bit of an homage. Homage? One of the two. I think there might be an H in that. Currently, the two sides are off the field. In terms of what is coming up, though, for these two sides, what we will quickly do is we'll go like this and like that. There we go. The Brumbies, they are at the top of the table. That's not even what I was talking about. Hang on. There we go. That's what we want. The Hurricanes going up against the Western Force, 7:05 p.m. on Friday night. The only Friday night game taking place next week. Then the Drua playing the Brumbies. That is in 7 days' time. Crusaders, Highlanders, and also the Reds versus Waratahs. That one taking place on Saturday as well. The Blues play Moana Pacifica as the Sunday afternoon game. That one's going to be brutal because that will be after probably doing an all-nighter for the Sevens. In fact, that might be midway through the Sevens, all-nighter from the Six Nations beforehand for that one. We have got the donation from Snowdrops. MX. What is MX in terms of currency? Mexican. What do they have in Mexico? Mexican. I can't think of what's peso? No, it's not pesos, is it? Is it pesos? Did you get your pie fix? No, but I still need to do that. Peso. It is pesos. There you go. Well, thank you very much. I think that's the first Mexican pesos we have received on the channel. Let's go Snowdrops Legend, says Pro Pleb. And also big up Jason, says BTW. And yeah, as well, they are just showing Max Jorgensen scores 7 tries in the past 5 matches at Allianz Stadium. He has done it again here. Managed to score the try up against the Hurricanes. Broly 0.94 NZ dollar, says Jason. It's still the light blue one though, and that was the task thingy for the chicken tenders. I feel like you guys can see how little I know about YouTube when I try and do anything different that we don't normally do. Like, I don't know what happens when the goal hits. Does the screen light up or something? I don't know. And we have got there, that's the F and C special. Says the AI underdog pick. Second half, I'll just check here. First half came to a close about 9 minutes ago, so probably another 5 minutes remaining. Cartel back in for the Kiwi lads. Says Samuel, who do you think is the best winger in Super Rugby? I think Jorgensen definitely has to be up there, although there are so many great wingers across this competition. Fihi Whittingham-Nofo, he's done very well for himself in the Hurricane side. Caleb Tangitau, Leroy Carter, Narawa looks strong at the moment. Clark's found some good form. Do you know any Tisdalls in your area? Tisdall. Don't think so. Tisdall. Doesn't ring a bell as a name that I know of. Second half, the benches, they'll be crucial. We do see Lucas Cashmere off the bench alongside Johnny Rova as the back replacements. Iritara Eneri, he has had a lot of clubs, but he does quite well off of the bench. And we have got there as well Tavita Mafaleo and also Lawakai is playing as the number 17. So no Poldy Rekiti Stones in that department. Who's the best fly half in Super in your opinion? Oh, see, that's a hard one again because it depends because there's a lot of guys injured at the moment. But Damian McKenzie has shown that he is one of, if not the best in Super Rugby in that 10 jersey. Some said that he didn't have his greatest game up against Moana, but if that's a bad game, I'd take a bad game every day of the week. 20 Mexican peso is $1.91 New Zealand. Okay, so that works out about the same as I think in New Zealand for the colour donation that it is like the same. I think it's $2 New Zealand, something like that. Let's go. Says NZ Unique. And also DMAC is the best, says BTW Padza. And $1.91 will get you one chicken tender. I will take one chicken tender every day of the week. Please donate on behalf of the Blues, says Jason. I reckon DMAC. And gain support from Brisbane, says Jesse. Yeah, at the moment they are doing nicely, leading by the 5 points at half time, but still a long way to go in this contest. 40 more minutes. You're able to change everything. Just thinking through about my Mexican rugby knowledge. It's not the biggest, but I do know they have is it a women's 7 side out of Mexico Snowdrops? Or was it the men's side in Tier 3? I think it was the women's side, right? That we're playing not too long ago. Good morning, Hamish. Trust all is good. What's your weekend schedule? So the plan, subject to change, of course. First game coming up tomorrow is going to be Ireland versus Wales. I'm covering the first half as well as halftime, and then someone else is coming in for the second half. From there, we've got Crusaders versus Blues, the 7:05 p.m. game. Alongside that, there is the 2 games of the Six Nations, Scotland versus France, England versus Italy. I don't watch sevens. To be fair, that was quite a hard tournament to find, that 7-3. But I'm going to have a look now just because I feel like I saw Mexico being a part of it. I think they played South Africa at one point. A beautiful Cancun, says Dunk there. They love Mexico or rugby in Mexico, and Tars bench been very good this year. Do you think Canes can match them? Should be good. I think the good news for the Waratahs is consistency. Yeah, rugby is nearly non-existent here. Says Snowdrops. Where are they? Yeah, South Africa played Mexico in the women's sevens in Dubai. That game didn't go too well. Neither did the game up against Thailand. Oh, neither did the game up against Czechia. I've seen 3 games that they had 0 at the moment. Oh, they scored 10 points up against Colombia, 26 points to 10. And then they lost to Samoa, 29-0. And that's it. Okay, so they didn't have the best tournament, unfortunately, but maybe one day. NFL is super popular in Mexico. And WQB Roberts says pro pleb. I live near the US border, so baseball is king here. Says Snowdrops. South American countries take I have to pay back in pesos. Can't pay off US loans with pesos. It's a robbery of sorts. See, I have no idea how all that works. I hardly even know how to convert any currency. Snow drops in Mexico sounds very rare too. Says Studs Race. Does it snow in Mexico? Hardly snows here, unfortunately. We've had a couple real warm days, but hopefully we get snow within like 3 years. Yes, Jason. He's been creeping my mate's girlfriend. So many negative messages. He's a creep. Says shh. 557. Sorry, I did the shush for maybe too long. Dan McKellar. Yeah, just having a conversation with him at the moment. One of the the Waratahs coaches. Using instead of oranges at halftime. No. We have got no snowdrops grow here at all, actually. And it's 48 degrees by me, says Marlene. That's very warm. Is an NFL what the Super Bowl is? So that explains Bad Bunny, says Pro Pleb. I think does the NFL, I don't actually know. Is the Super Bowl separate from the NFL? Kind of, but it's the teams in the NFL that play it, right? Like, do you actually get points towards your NFL season in the Super Bowl? I'm showing my lack of American sport knowledge here. But both of these sides are back out on the field. One thing that I know more than about one or two things about is rugby, only maybe by a little margin. Super Bowl is the NFL final. Is it? Okay. So it's top 2 playoff for it, right? I did not know that. Oh, my phone just died. I wasn't even using it. I'll put it on charge. Get the big stretch. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Well, we're good. Second half. Ready to go. It is kicked off by the Waratahs. First half flew by, so the second half, I would assume, be more of the same. Harkin's running in a try. I assume that is from NZ Unique. Do you South African Sevens will win? I think they'll be up there. But it's going to be a tough comp. I feel the first try in the second half. Prediction there from NZ Unique. Ball is available for Cam Roygard, told to use it. Let's kick this one high up into the night sky at Allianz Stadium. Going up for it was Finian Norfo, but it's bounced back onto the side of the Tars again. The Super is playoff between South and East Coast leagues. Here's Samuel. And also, it's a battle of AFC and NFC. All right, that's knocked on from Finian Norfo, so they will go back for the scrum now for the Tars. Just talking about George Pullman in the side for this matchup. He wasn't initially in the 23 due to that hamstring injury of Joseph Akusosuali'i. It meant that they did need to make that change. And we have got there how Billy Don't Drop Proctor doing. I'm going to stop calling that as he has a good name. If not, that's his, or if he has a good game, sorry. The South Africa Sevens win last year. They did win the final competition, but not the overall season for points that went to Argentina. Yep. Right, Gordon, nope, doesn't get the chance to feed that ball in. Quick tap taken that one. Luckily for Gordon, has gone backwards. Crichton with the short ball to Jorgensen. Long way off his left wing, but they will now use the forwards. Get it built back up. Matasero. Get through. This game is one try away from being absolutely wide open for either side. The Canes get themselves a try. Might be able to carry themselves over the goal line multiple times from here. Whereas if the Tars score now, it could be anyone's game. It might come down to conversions, maybe even a late penalty. Jorgensen inside of the 22 after losing a bunch of meterage there. Hurricanes, big chance to run this one forward with Callum Harkin. Gets 90% of his team on side. Looks for the offload. Finds Karifi's hands. 20 meters out now. Good clean out in the breakdown from Amor on Pullman. Can go from Numia. It's halftime. It is no longer halftime. Second half now underway. Going off to the left. Now right. Karifi decides to change the angle. Pops the ball up. Billy Proctor straight up the middle. And it's another try for the Hurricanes. And that still not quite a bonus point, but one step closer towards having it. And Homes Friday morning. Rugby means the weekend in Spain is nearly here, says Nick. And yeah, there's plenty happening over said weekend. There's the Sevens. There's the Six Nations. More Super Rugby. If Jordy doesn't score a try, I will fire him myself. There's Pro Plebe. yeah, it's going to be a tricky one for Geordie Barrett, because I feel like, once again, he's the type of player who would assist in that case to Proctor rather than get him for himself. But this game, if it opens up, still plenty of chances for Barrett to score, because I don't think they'll take him off. Zo Rugby with Mark. Kiwi rugby fan living in Cancun, Mexico. Says Samuel, yeah, we have done something with Mark in the past. Great try from their own half, says Studs Race. How do you rate the coverage of rugby by the New Zealand media and talking heads generally? I believe it or not, and I know it sounds quite bad to say, but I don't really follow a lot of the media outlets when it comes to rugby or anything for that matter. It's just I'm very much so I forget to check things. So I normally get my information from the teams like straight up. But the media in New Zealand gets a bad rap because they ask questions that are obviously set up to try and set up the person who's answering them. So, like, it's all weighted questions here because they want a good headline. Oh, that's an ugly collision in the air, and the penalty will go the way of the Waratahs. And if we don't win tomorrow, I'm just done, says Highlanders fan. I'm loving the look of the Highlanders 7-8 combination now. We're a couple of the unsung heroes last year. Too easy for the Gaines. They'll win by 20 plus, says Morgrel. Right, the penalty still going the way of the Tars, who will look to fire back the try of their own. Now we have got their sneaky weasels. But then that's pretty much all media nowadays, isn't it? How, like, if they can get a headline, they'll go for it. And even if it's not completely what you said, they'll say it roundabout so that it seems that way. This Highlanders Argentina bro is here on a paid holiday at this point. Yeah, he's only playing for the Highlanders B, and he's absolutely loving it, Thomas Lavanini. Probably getting a nice season of recovery. That's close to a turnover in the breakdown for the Canes, and they get it. And this time it is Duplessis Karifi has managed to win it. He's been working hard for those steals. Geordie could be in my fantasy team, but it's a difficult decision. A big kick downfield too. 25 metres out from the line now for the line out. I went toilet. Who scored? So the try was Billy Proctor. New Zealand Rugby Media, either just part of the NZRU or throwing darts, says Studs Race. Yeah. Which it does make it, like, because you think about nowadays how much, I guess, negativity there is around rugby. And when you see the media covering rugby, you understand why. Bouncing the ball, Billy Proctor, he's got two. And that is another great try for the Hurricanes, running away with it in the second half. 2 tries in 6 minutes. That is quite the early statement. Geordie Barrett with the try assist. Is that a second or third now of the contest? I'm hoping just a second. 1 second, we'll go like this. We'll actually find out because I think they have assists on the Super Rugby website. Stats. Teams. We'll go like that. Geordie Barrett has got, doesn't say. Okay. Geordie Barrett says pro pleb. Do you think the Black Caps can beat India? They have to bat first, do they win the toss? See, I don't know if you do. Where's it being played? Same place as the Black Caps played or same place as India played? Because the thing is, I think India, what they proved in that game up against the West Indies is it doesn't really matter if they bat first or second. They still, if they fire, can score a lot of runs. They chased down that 190 of the West Indies relatively comfortably. That's Samson. You got to get him out early. Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor, different class to their opposite numbers. I'd rather have the Black Cats to bowl first. There's BTW Padza. Yeah, because you could look at it and go, like, New Zealand won their game from batting second. India won their game from batting first. So really the toss could heavily impact who does what. Going off to the left-hand side, Lawson Crichton. That ball's going to be available. Oh, it's actually held up there. turn into a rolling maul. Bonus point currently in play for the Hurricanes as well. And we have there if we bowl. Well, we use our very strong batting lineup and chase it. Says BTW. Let's go to Canes, says Jesse. And I've been searching, can't find the try-saving tackle by Ioane against Australia in 22. You might remember the battle with the hands. Try-saving tackle from Ioane. Do you remember at all who it was against? I'm trying to think who it was. It up against Australia? It may not have been. We have got the evening Hamish. There's Tommy Tech. Welcome in. Only 49 minutes through this game. Hurricanes are starting to run away with it a little bit. How does bonus point work? Again, you need 3 or more tries than your opposition. So currently the Hurricanes have got it. But if we were to see the Waratahs score now, it would end up changing it to no bonus point. Did Wallace Satiti play? He did not. Injured hamstring at the moment for Satiti. Let's go Proctor, have him as captain for fantasy. Second game this week. I'm already up 423 points. Let's go. It would have been a great choice, already scoring 2 tries. Penalty goes the way of the Waratahs, though, at scrum time. Looks like the new front row have struggled there just a little bit in Tavita Mafaleo. He just made his way on. Soily, quiet boy, very quiet because he didn't get to start. He has a hamstring issue, so got pulled out late. George Pullman came in at 13, who has also been quiet for this match. Yeah, we're going to see it there. Tavita Mafaleo just dropping down a little bit. Got a good Uber tonight. Fresh fries too. Everyone seems happy, says they are a underdog pick. And I think AB's new coach, Rennie, is a great pick. There's Tommy Tank. Moananu throws it in. First line out of the day stolen by the Hurricanes from Moananu's throw. And up the Wars, but go Hurricanes. And I'll say, how fair is it on Moana playing 2 games in Chiefs country against the Chiefs? Probably not very fair, although they've never beaten the Chiefs anyway. So I feel like if it was the better money deal, they might as well take it. I guess it depends how well the Kiwi batters deal with scoreboard pressure. England openers 3 caved in. Yeah, it was actually their middle order, wasn't it, for England that started to find the rhythm. And that kind of happened a few times throughout the tournament for the English. But I still can't get over scoring 240 plus runs and losing. Like that just, I don't know if that's ever happened. Or at least not in games that I can think of. Maybe scoring 200 and losing, but, you know, scoring 240-ish and still not getting the job done is a bit of a rough one. And you could also just argue, look, we did what we could have in that scenario because like it would have won 90%, 99% of other games, all big driving tackle. Tender from Xavier Numia, missed tackle from Isaiah Walker-Leaweri on Callaway, though. Waratahs are a joke, making this game unwatchable. Mate, that Allen's a beast. Says Nazi and Wellington says hello. Welcome in, Val. All still on the side of the Waratahs. Told to use the ball. Not out yet. Now it is out. So Gordon kicks it high. Cross kick attempted to Tristan Riley, who can't quite get to it in time. Nice take from Callum Harkin. Got to watch the knees. As that is the injury that Fly has for the Hurricanes. It's suffered time and time again. What a kick that is from Pehe Whirianofo. Curves it around. Looking forward to all the rugby this weekend, says Yarlu. It's going to be a busy old weekend, that is for sure. We're going to see the tackle. Ow. That would have hurt the neck of Angus Blythe. He kind of got bent backwards. Billy Proctor has like 2 tries this game. He certainly does. Sorry. Are you doing the T20 final? Yep. We are going to be covering it on the channel. Luckily, the way that it's worked out, it doesn't overlap with anything. So it's fantastic. Now, it's either going to be a very frustrating watch or it's going to be a great game to be able to cover. A bet on Geordie is based off his performance with Leinster, so maybe not the best idea. Still very good, though, says Pro Plebe. And he's still got time to be able to score in this matchup. Now, ball in the hands of Ioane Moananu. They look to get that rolling one going. Perfect planting of face there, says Studs Race. I'd say they'll have to use this. So Gordon does kick it up. And nice take again from Harkin. Now, the benefit that they've got in the number 10 option for Harkin is the fact that he's quite safe under the high ball from what he's been able to do as a fullback. That one's not coming out of the rolling maul of the Hurricanes, so it does become a Waratahs scrum good pace, or sorry, not pace, well, speed into the breakdown and then power from Halaholo, yellow or red cards yet? No. And no yellow or red cards from that Moana Pacifica Chiefs game either. Sevens as well as the Six Nations, yeah. It is going to be busy. Overlaps with your sleep. That is true. That would have been the time during the weekend that I was sleeping, but that's also why I'm strategically sleeping tomorrow night at times so that I can kind of balance it all out. For a moment, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll quickly mute. We are good. Feels weird not having a card so far. It does a bit. Normally we get one by about 30 minutes into the first game. Quick tap taken by Roygard after the free kick was awarded. Geordie Barrett going for a huge kick up high. It's going to be tough to line up. Tristan Riley, that's accidental offside. Picked up by Barrett. They did have the advantage for half a second there, the Hurricanes. Skip pass out to Peter Larkai. One more finds Balin Sullivan. If Geordie's going to score, it would be off this move. I can tell you that right now. Just with where they're situated on the field, you might get to have a decent run if they are willing to use the backs. Tavita Mafaleo. Barrett lurking as about third receiver at the moment. Looks like Flanders. Oh no, short side. Deciding to get a sneaky run there from Braden Yossi. 3 meters out from the try line. That looked like a knock on, although they get over. Tavita Mafaleo flattens out over the goal line, and it's another try now for this Hurricanes team. The team will be scary good. And let's get this bloke to 100,000 subs, man. This guy works hard. He deserves it. Says Nazi. And also, Tars are not going good. Go home. Says Yasmin. Are you doing the Cricket World Cup final on Sunday, Hamish? We certainly are, yes. Right, they're going to check this for the knock-on. I thought there was one. Yeah, there it is. Knock-on on the ground from Tavita Mafaleo before scoring. My players are so bad. Says Highlanders. Right, on-field decision is try. Oh, I realised I'm still off to the side. There we go. I can spot in Kiwi Rob says Studs Rays. And dang it says BTW Pedza. Checking the bubble now. Yeah, that's a knock-on. It looked like the initial... Later on, he almost grabbed it, but I think there was the first initial grabbing of the ball. Just lost a bit of contact with it. About there. And then it's actually played on the ground by the Hurricanes player anyway. So even if it wasn't considered as a knock-on, I think Braden Yossi ends up regathering it, assisting in stopping that ball from rolling forward for Tavita Mafaleo. Okay, they need the player number of the player on the ground. That's Braden Yossi. Oh, actually, there's another hand in the equation. They were spooning, and the Waratahs player got his hand on the ball a little bit. Is that what's happened? So it's lost forward. It's no try. He's off the ball. Uh-oh. Oh, no, we jinxed it, ladies and gents. Yellow card for the Waratahs. Just as we were saying how well-disciplined the teams had been, that happens. Good decision, says Dunk. Now 5 meters out from the line. Chance for the Hurricanes to add another. Geordie wouldn't have knocked it on, says Pro Pleb. And need a Karefi try, please. Karefi's actually gone off. For Braden Yossi, they've already replaced Karefi from this game. It looks like they are going for the corner, looking towards that rolling maul opportunity. Panthers beating the Broncos at halftime. Cheers, K Slade. No spooning on the field, guys. Save it for afterwards. Shake my head. There is always going to be a card somewhere, says BTW Padza. Yeah, we're done well, though, to get through 130 minutes of rugby before having one, though. Nice take from Brad Shields. I do see that he has made his way onto the field, accompanying Braden Yossi and Jacob Devery also out there. We're going to break his way off the back. Somehow this rolling maul is still going. This might be another yellow card if the Tars hold it up. They've gone down over the line. Dolman's looking for the grounding. He can't find one, so we'll get another TMO. So it goes from worse to worse for the Tars. Right, the Tars are thinking that this isn't a try. Do you think like the British and Irish Lions? Or do you think a tournament like the British and Irish Lions for the Southern Hemisphere countries will happen one day? Not anytime soon, because I think World Rugby, the ones who are high up will want to keep that as a prestigious thing that the North do in terms of those tours. So I can't see it ever becoming something that they'd like. I'd love to see a Southern Lions tour the North, but they won't do it, I don't think. Right, as Iwaka Leaweri was sticking his tongue out. So he was happy with the try, but it isn't one. It's going to be now the ball for the Hurricanes. 5 meters out. This is, once again, if Barrett was ever going to score in this game, for Pro Pleb's sake, it would be now. And then he can get his pie. What flavour pie did we work out, or are we only doing that after he scores? The ball's fed in. All right, Cam Roy guard goes down at the front. Advantage now in play. Geordie Barrett looking to his outside, slings it on with an NRL style pass. It bounces awkwardly to Morby. And they'll go back now for the penalty again. Geordie Barrett short ball call, and it says BTW pads. I think they're too deep, though, for the Barrett short ball. It seemed like they were kind of setting him up right at the back. Mince and cheese. That's a good choice. Warner Durns is off for Brad Shields. Devery is on for Amor. Pete Samu's got a little bit of blood, so they may have to take him off. Right, this one's situated middle of the field, just right of the goalpost. Apple pie all day long. Oh, that's a pie that wasn't thought about. The fact that it's the savoury, well, they're all savouries, aren't they? The sweet option, I guess. Karifi is really effed off the line out. Says man on the moon. And also like South Africa, New Zealand, Australia and Argies. And do you think the ABs deserve to win the World Cup final? I think that there's no point really looking at that, because of the fact that at the end of the day, one team won and it wasn't New Zealand, it was South Africa. So like you can say the ifs and the buts, what ifs and all of that. That's another penalty. I see Nazi, I missed your message earlier on. Is Karefi overrated respectfully? I think that when he's having like his best day, he can be extremely lethal in those breakdowns, but he can also be a bit of a penalty magnet if he's not quite getting it right. He's taken the ill discipline out of his game more so, though. Used to be like clean outs and the breakdown would get him in trouble and all that sort of thing, but now it's just more so just the timing of trying to get a steal. Shepherd's pie, says man on the moon. What's the best pie flavour for me? It's steak and cheese. Steak and cheese, I do quite like a steak and cheese, although it depends on the cheese a little bit. Sometimes the cheese can actually, I feel, ruin a steak and cheese pie. So sometimes it's safer just to have a steak, but you do want that cheese every once in a while as well. Ball's going to be fed in now. 5 meters still out from the line for the Hurricanes. It's a big push. Now going off to the right. Geordie Barrett, wide cutout pass. Balin Sullivan scores. Is that Barrett's third assist? Balin Sullivan, his second of the match. Barrett's having a great day. He just hasn't scored himself. Absolutely in a potato top. I remember when there was a Kiwi fan who told you in the chat that he was crying when Black Cats lost to India in the Champions Trophy 2025 final. And effective off the line out, playing like a halfback. Are we leading to the second win to the Kiwi side against an Australian rugby team? I would say so. With the fact that they have scored now, this one gets a lot more one-sided. Adi Lamape Bowden should have stayed with the Hurricanes. Says Hobbit, a nice lad, says Nas. Hamish makes cheese makes mince better. Steak needs no cheese. Okay, so I thought for a second I was in trouble when I saw the Hamish with a whole heap of exclamation points, but I think so. That's an agreement, right? Are you going to be angry if the Black Cats lose the final again? Probably not. Like, as long as it's a decent showing. The last thing we want to see them go out there and do is what we saw, no offense, but South Africa do in that semi-final. Like, as long as they compete and it's a decent final, I'm happy. Hey, got a Barrett getting all the assists, says NZ Unique. Hey, sorry, text Geordie, be better, says Pro Pleb. Hamish, when was the last time you were angry? I don't know if I've ever been, like, properly angry. Like, I've been annoyed, but my problem is I can't frown without smiling like 2 seconds later, which is really annoying when you're trying to get a point across, because you go from like trying to be all serious to then like, why are you smiling? This is serious. And yeah, that's my problem. I need to like get the facial muscles going downwards, if that's a thing. Be loyal and be a legend, one team for life. And also, are they winning this time? Now 61 minutes down in this contest. Be loyal and be a legend, and also don't be overconfident, says Kiwi KFC lad. Oh, loose ball, picked up. Roygard is off the field. And pro pleb. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but they just took Geordie Barrett off for Johnny Rover. Or Johnny Rover, sorry, I should say. I can't believe I thought this was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to be too. This is why I don't do predictions normally or previews. I decided this round I'd mix it up and I'd have a bit of confidence, try and predict these games, which was a bad idea because at the end of the day, last round was unpredictable and this one was going to be too. But Hurricanes, interception. This might make it a bit closer. Great pace from Harkin, but it won't be enough. Jorgensen strikes and scores the try for the Waratahs. It doesn't take away the Hurricanes bonus point, but it gets them one more closer to being able to take it away. And Billy drop, says dunk. Going to see it here. Eritana Inari went across to, it was Peter Larkai, then Proctor, who threw that pass. Had it gone to Sullivan, it could have been a try down the other end. He fired clearly. Or he's fired clearly, says Pro Pleb. Wait, who's the captain now for the Canes? Yeah, that's actually a good question because Duplessis, Karifi, and Geordie Barrett are both off the field. And Roygard's also off. So, Duans is off. Amu is off. Probably Flanders or Larkai, I would say, is maybe captain now. Oh, actually, no. Brad Shields probably takes on captaincy now that I think about it. Max is too quick. Might be this side, depending on. I think it's reverse for me, but it's not for you guys. Bring George for the live stream between Black Caps and India. I don't think that's a good idea. He hates cricket, almost with a passion. So the whole time he would tell us that we're pretty much wasting time watching cricket. George is the best winger in the comp, but his team sucks, says Morgul. Although me and George might actually end up going to watch cricket tomorrow, much to his disgust. And Barrett will get me 2 points for every try assist on Super Rugby Fantasy game. Hopefully he assisted in some tries. He assisted in many. I think he had 3 or 4 assists. What happened to Cam Roygard? They just decided to take him off. They felt the game was in control. Although now not so much. 19 points still in their favour though, the Canes. Like, it's still a very good position to be. But it's a little bit less one-sided. We've got to remember, Waratahs still playing with 14 men as well for another 90 seconds. 17 points to 50 is the full-time score from Adriana there. Now going up. Oh, it was a weird way of running at it for Morby. Almost looked like he was limping a bit. Daniel Borta almost got the steal. Now the Hurricanes to use their back line again. Proctor changing the way that they're going. Instead of head and right, shifts left. Henry. Zai Wakaleawiri puts Johnny Rover straight through a gap. Now chance on the inside. Eritana Inari is there and scores the try. The Canes fire straight back with a try of their own. Kindred spirit there and George. Oh, kindred spirit. Kind spirit? Kindred. I don't know that word. And Barrett and Karifi are schoolmates, say that's cool. How are you supporting for the T20 World Cup final? Well, we're going to try and do our best to be unbiased throughout that match. Lethal says, starts race. Yeah, Johnny Rover. He is actually someone that I remember we covered a game ages ago that George was actually here and he said that he was thinking that Johnny Rover was going to be a bright talent. It was back when he was playing, I think, for Canterbury, if I'm correct there. That was not the game that George left halfway through because he had chicken wings that he wanted to cook. How has Leafi been doing? He's had a lot of carries throughout this contest. I'd say probably the most out of anyone in the loose forward trio, if not maybe the whole 4-pack. He's had some solid enough runs where he's made a few meters along the way, but I just don't think they've used him at the right time, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of, they've tried to get him to create something when they aren't going forward. I love rugby and cricket. And similar, says Nazi, for what it means. Now, anytime I see it in a crossword, I'll be like, oh, that's what it means. Ow, that would have hurt. Sorry, I yelled. Going to be a penalty. Pullman getting his timing wrong. This might be a yellow card. He is just apologising to Morby there for the clean out, but this might be something that's TMO when George comes for the live order. Nando's Pepsi Red Bull and enjoy the final. Says KFC Cloud. I'm not trying to be brainy though. I'm an early school dropout, says Nars Williams. Means similar, the same. Okay, he doesn't land too badly, Josh Morby. He actually does very nicely to glide himself down on his elbow and arm. That's the Waratahs we know. The first few games been a surprise, says Liza. Oh, it is a yellow card. Okay. Huh. Okay, that was a bit more aggressive with the yellow than I thought it was going to be. And of course, that is now our second yellow card that we have seen of the round. Pullman plays like a hairy dude. It's a pretty harsh insult. Do you ever have a big fast food order meal? Yes. Me and George went to KFC last week. I don't remember why. I don't even remember what day, which is quite bad. My memory is actually really bad now. Like, I remember the occasional rugby stat, but other than that, I think I'm not even going to remember my name by 35. But, what day did we go? I think it was a month. No, it would have been a Sunday, I think. Maybe. It was like 5 days ago. I was shouting like I was up the wires, says Nazi. To be real, it's always the Aussie teams who do well start of the season, then just downhill from there. Oh, trying the grubber in behind Waratahs again. We'll boot this one downfield. The youngster on debut, Sid Harvey. Bloody Tars up the wires. Says Johnny, nicely taken by Josh Morby. It's been in the tries as often when playing at fullback as he was out on the wing where he got a hat trick in match number 1 up against Moana. One's gone backwards for Pete Samu. Now space. Dibrizini goes on the outside to Charlie Gamble. Good tackle from Isaiah Walker. Leo Witty. Hurricanes onto the ball. Balin Sullivan ripping it away as well for his team. Geordie is now on the naughty list. No tenders for him. I do really want. I'm going to get some chicken tenders on probably about Tuesday, I would say, when I eventually catch up on sleep. I'll try and find an excuse to go get some. Sid Harvey trying to spin out of the tackle of Lawaki. Lawakai, I should say. Now offloaded again, trying for it was Blythe. It looked like he had a knock on the ground. Now Walton to the left-hand side for Halaholo. Does George order the family feast? And you do the two-piece back? He went brave last time round. He ended up getting a zinger burger with extra cheese because he loves cheese. And he got about 6 wicked wings. And that's a bit of spice for us lads. I think I got a 3-piece pack. Again, my memory is shocking at the moment. Come on, Canes, put 50 on. Take Australia down at PXS Dunk. And Brummies versus Chiefs final, I reckon, unless Crusaders spoil their party, says Simon Guitar. Cashmore, he's made his way on for Callum Harkin, who's done well because there's been a lot of injuries in regards to that number 10 jersey for the Canes. So it is fantastic to see a man finish a match without having any sort of issues. How many tenders can you eat in one sitting? We talking KFC tenders or chicken tenders like from a bag? I'd say KFC tenders. I think I could do like 14 would be a good effort. But that would also really hurt the bank balance because 2 tenders from KFC here is like $7. So that would be $49 worth of chicken tenders, which just doesn't seem worth it, does it? Did he burn his boo hole? I didn't actually ask him, but I'd assume so. It would have been spicy. I could do 20. I wanted to say 20, but I felt like maybe that would be too many. Depends on the size of them too. Okay, yellow card's going to remain a yellow card too. Reed Dolman just trying to speed this game along. Only 11 minutes still on the clock. The Hurricanes have already brought up 50 in one of their games. Their other game they lost up against the Fijian Roa. So it'll be quite an interesting pattern to go 50, lose 50. Still plenty to play for. Could eat 500 since my name is KFC. Come on, the Tars of Moana can beat them. You can too. I assume we're talking last season, right? Is it possible for the Canes and the Blues to meet in a final? Theoretically, anything's possible at this stage. Hurricanes get themselves the scrum penalty now against the feed, not straight. Or the scrummaging of Amone. Israel Dag is the answer, says Jason. Any game after this one tonight? No more tonight, but tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I am going to be doing Ireland versus Wales. So what's going to be happening is I have to get up earlier than the 9 a.m., of course. But I'm going to be going down, get the juniors all set up so that they're ready to go, mark out the pitch, do the boundary rope, everything like that. And then after that, come back here, do the stream, leave after halftime, leave you guys in the hands of Rugby Itch for the second half, go back down there and finish off helping out for the game. I'll probably have to do some umpiring. And then coming back here later on after second grades cricket for the Crusaders versus Blues. It's Kaylee using my dad's. Says Kaylee there. I assume that's Kyle, but it's auto-corrected. And hey, Itchy Mania, you guys will get to see him for 40 minutes throughout that second half. It's going to be another penalty here. It's time for the Waratahs getting over the ball nice and early for Ioane Moananu. Jack de Brinzini looks like he's going to take this one quickly. And kicks it towards the sideline. Doesn't find touch, though. That's a big mistake. Lucas Cashmore, he's already got heavy strapping on that right knee, so he definitely doesn't want to deal with an injury. Does Tim live in your house? No, he lives in the UK. It sounded like I was being sarcastic, but he genuinely does live in the UK. Good. Oh, no, not quite. From Jorgensen, it was behind him. Double knock on. The scrum here for the Canes again. Haven't seen him for ages, says BTW Pacific. Yeah, I think the last time would have been probably November when he covered Ireland versus Australia for us and I covered France versus Fiji. See, I can remember that. I just can't remember what day I had KFC. I've got a selective memory, it seems. What two teams were in the first ever Super Rugby match? I'm not actually too sure. Was it Crusaders Blues? No. Was it Crusaders Chiefs, actually? Was that the game that old mate Ian Foster was playing in? Or was that just an early game in the Super Rugby comp? Eritara Inari. Beat the ball in for the Hurricanes. Oh, front rows collapse again. And a penalty against the feed. Well, the Waratahs, it seems to be actually when you've got the scrum, you're more likely to concede a penalty than your opposition in this case. But it was Tavira Mafaleo. Ended up collapsing down. Bringzini makes sure that this one does go out. There's nothing fast down where you live, Hamish. Says Fleshin. Is it like fast food or like where you... Yeah, because like KFC and McDonald's are like 30 minutes away. And that's quite far. Even because it's 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. Petrol price is about to go up too. So that won't help. Oh, knock on there. Scrum feed for the Canes. This whole last 15 minutes or so of this game has just been literally knock-ons and the occasional try. So, it's something. Now another scrum. Should Black Cats battle bowl first, according to you, if they win the toss? I think they bowl first. Like, yes, scoreboard pressure is a thing, but at the same time, they showed that they are decent in a chase. 1996, Blues and Hurricanes. Yep. There's NZ Unique. I think first ever game, Super 12, was Canes at Palmerston North. Panthers 18-0. That's pretty decent for the Panthers side. I think we'll go like this and like that. I was mentioning about the games that were taking place. We've also got the matchup between Scotland and France, Italy and England. Those are both happening throughout the night tomorrow. And then also the Sevens the next day and also the T20 World Cup. So plenty on in the near future. Balin Sullivan does a little shuffle. Can't quite get around the man in front of him. Now, Eritara Inari, quick hands, nicely done. I don't think he did it on purpose there for Cashmore, but he fed Johnny Rover through a gap again, going himself, offloads to Eritara Inari, hit a little bit high from Sid Harvey, loose ball, not on from Johnny Rover, back to Max Jorgensen, puts in the grubber. And it won't go into touch. Moananu, good hooker, gutted. He left the Satyrs for the Tars. Yeah, like it makes sense as to why he did. But at the same time, I would have loved to see him like out there just for some sort of opportunity. Plus, with the fact that George Bell was now injured for like 6 weeks, I think, or 4 to 6 weeks, it kind of would have been nice for Moananu to still be in the running. That's a snooker scoreline. Go the Canes. And going to come down to squad depth Blues status tomorrow. If all these injuries are true, says Shane. Just showing Pete Samu. He's been bashed a little bit in this game in terms of the marks on the face. And got a good butcher in town. I think there is one. I normally just go to the supermarket. But there's like a market on a Saturday that you can go to, and I think there's a couple butchers there. Now Billy Proctor goes on the outside to Fihifini Arnofo, finds Josh Morby chasing after him. That was a little bit late from Joey Walton. Ball bouncing up awkwardly, tackled on the ground from Fihifini Arnofo on Halaholo. And bro, I'm doing a renovation work for Warren Gatlin's wife, says Johnny. Warren Gatlin's wife. So not at Warren Gatlin's house. I was reading comments last weekend. All the Aussie fans were so happy this week, time to humble them. They've got a hat trick this game. No one has got a hat trick. The closest that we've had to a hat trick was 2 tries for Billy Proctor. Takes the ball at the halfway line for Josh Morby. Oh, taken back by Balin Sullivan. Of course, one of the new rules that they have got in this competition is you can take the ball back for a 50-22. Kicked out on the full from Sid Harvey. Nicely done, but he was inside of his 22, so it's fine. It also looked like his foot was right on the sideline, but very nicely done by the youngster Sid Harvey. Looking calm and collected on debut for this Waratahs side. He has got a bright future. We've seen him in the under-20 setup for the Aussies. I believe he also can offer 10, and alongside that has the goal kicking as well. A line out for the Hurricanes. Jacob Devery to Flanders. And have you seen those meat smokers at Afro making old filing cabinets? No. I've seen like smokers. But I feel like if I was to try and cook some meat on a smoker, I'd just end up ruining it. I wouldn't trust myself. We saw what I did to chicken tenders in an air fryer. I'd assume doing a smoker would be a little bit more challenging. I'm no longer calling Proctor. I'll think of a new name for him. Can't wait for that game, says Flesh in there. I assume you're talking Island Wales, aren't you? That one. Oh, drop ball. I'd like to think he'd go all right. Or not head. They'd go all right. Johnny Rover jogs it to the try line. Mistake from the Tars in the half century for the Hurricanes. So they're going to literally go 2 weeks of their 3. They have got themselves a half century. And then the other week, they lost. So what's to come next? They've got the Western Force. So that could be another half century out of Callaway. Outward Callaway in with Harvey, a ginger switch. And also, his name is Sport Billy. I remembers the cartoon, says Shane. Say humble but powerful, the Hurricanes, and Angus returning tomorrow for the Highlanders. Glad to see he's doing more. Just giving away penalties here. Actually looking like a real asset. He will have a big shift for sure, says Jason. And yeah, bro, I'm a builder, mostly doing residential work. Johnny Rover getting over the line. He has looked like a threat since making his way out onto the park. The kick from Cashmore is through the middle. And now just the 70 seconds remaining in this contest. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Hurricanes. Ref blew the whistle like he was disappointed by this try, says Liza. And I can't blame the Canes for last week. The weather was trash. Yeah, although they had to adapt in that case a little bit. Why Maddie Market sounds mean, says our man on the moon. And also, I think Geordie Barrett wears a wig, according to ChatGPT. Oh, running down the wing again here for the Hurricanes. Was it Ford? If it wasn't, there's another big chance. Billy Proctor gets the hat trick. They may just want to check it to make sure that it wasn't Ford, though. But this has been a brutal reality check for this Waratahs side. 50 on top. That's it. Call the game, says Val. Awesome, man. What are you doing in those Ponsonby Greyland comments? Are you from there? Says Nas. And a great pass on the inside to Billy Proctor. Finishes it off again. But it was just that one there. from Fihi-Finianofa. The way that Morby caught that ball, it seemed like it was actually quite far in front who the Wars play, as in like the Warriors or the Waratahs. Next game for the Waratahs, they are going head-to-head up against the Reds in a rematch of a game that we did see in round number 1, which the Waratahs were able to win it. I see you at Forsyth Bar Stadium tomorrow, Highlanders fans. Well, Highlanders fans, sorry, says Jason. That kick has gone over from Cash Moore, and that makes the score at the end of this game 59 points to 19. It was close at half-time, 17-12, but the second half was diabolical for this Waratahs team. Their attack fell apart. They kept on giving opportunities to the Hurricanes to attack, and they just absolutely took those chances. They've said a bit of thinking to do here for this Hurricane side in terms of what is next. Solid says the AA underdog pick. Yeah, go the Mighty Canes, says Val. Nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alongside that, like I mentioned, big weekend coming up. I was hoping for a close one. I was too. I shouldn't have done a preview on the game because I said it would be split by like 5 points. So that just shows how good my Super Rugby predictions are. But yeah, tomorrow morning, Ireland versus Wales. After that, Crusaders versus Blues. And then 2 more games of the Six Nations throughout the night. And then a whole day of sevens on Sunday. The T20 World Cup final on Monday morning. And then a whole day of sevens on Monday taking place as well. But thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all for that next one.